Hey guys, it's been a while since I've done an antique padlock video, and I would like to resurrect this lock that I write about in my third book, I want to say. And this was a lock originally produced by Miller Lock Company. And what had happened was Yale started producing some locks with Miller and some locks with Yale. I think ultimately the Miller got phased out, and maybe they just killed the entire line at some point, obviously. But this happens to be a railroad lock, and it is a push key lock. The design, I really can't explain it. I would highly recommend you go on the patent website to see the clip art. It's very interesting. I don't know the patent number. I probably write about it in my book, but don't quote me on that. In any case, many of these locks were used by the railroad, and this is one key way that many of us are familiar with. And if you do buy these locks online from eBay or Etsy, you always want to get a good photo of this die cast keyway plug here. The plugs were really susceptible to corrosion, and it's hard to find some of them in good shape. But for me, all the fun is making keys for these. But I did that, I think, in my second book. I made a homemade key for this type of lock. But I ultimately got one with an original key, and these were machine stamped. And this is a very classic bitting that you'll typically see. It has symmetry. So it really doesn't matter which side you flip the key on, it's going to work both ways. But ultimately, the railroad phased these out and other locks replaced it. Some were the environmental locks from Sergeant Greenleaf, and some were American locks. I have no idea what they're using now, probably still American Padlock Company locks. But in any case, I happened to get this Miller lock into my collection, having this really unique keyway on here. And I really wanted to make a key for this. I'm thinking, wow, how could I do this? How could I possibly make that symmetry? Well, after thinking about it and thinking about it, I decided to make it out of bronze. And it's a material that I do not want to work with again because of the cancer causing possibility working with beryllium. I don't want to work with it again. I don't recommend it, but it is a very nice metal if you're safe with it. But one particle in your lungs, guys, you're as good as gone. So who knows? I still may come down with cancer one day. But in any case, yeah, the symmetry on this was definitely a challenge. So I was able to find a file bit from AliExpress that seemed to solve some of the machining problems I had to deal with. But I only own a drill press, so what could I have done? Well, I thought I have to be able to control the depths that I was going to cut on the key on one side, and I have to control the depths that I was going to cut the key on the other side. And if everything came out right, the symmetry would work. Well, this is what I was able to produce right here. Isn't that just beautiful? I just love the way this metal patinas. And the symmetry I got on this guy is just amazing. And this was all done using basic math and using a file bit. And I took a trace of the original key head. So this guy is a little bit wider than the original key head that you see in this other key. But wow, I'm really impressed. And ultimately, I think I had to take an impression of the bitting on this guy. These locks are not terribly difficult to pick, but they do have some unique lever on one side or the other, as I recall, that makes it a little bit more challenging. But let me see if I can give you a demonstration of how well this lock works. Yeah, it just pops right open, as you would expect. But just the way this key just glides in, just so nice. And the workmanship that I put into this. This is one of the reasons why I really love antique padlock collecting. It's not just about collecting locks with original keys. It's about the art form of making your own keys in a way that puts your own creativity into it, and the problem solving that you have to do. Sometimes you have to make unique tools, and this is one of the reasons why I encourage people to buy my books. You're really going to find some amazing techniques in all three of my books. In each one, I progressively learn new techniques, and some of those techniques are kind of disregarded in the third book because I assume you read the first two, The Extreme Antique Padlock Collector. So I have books 1, 2, and 3. Is this a commercial? Not really, guys. I just thought I would just get it out there talking about some antique padlocks. And if you guys ever have any questions about how to make keys for certain locks, give me a jingle, and we can have a good discussion on my channel. I'm always here to help. Anyway, thanks for watching. Have a great day.